There we go. All right. Hi, everyone. My name is Evelyn Prim. I'm the Communications Coordinator for the City of Montpelier, and I'm here today with Eric Nordenson, the Montpelier Police Department, and he's going to run through the fiscal year 2024 budget for the Police Department. Share our slides. All right, Eric, take it away.
There we go. Thank you. And thank you for taking the time to look at the Montpelier Police Department, our dispatch center, and our parking budget for fiscal year 2024. Most of our budget requests are rooted in the 6 pillars of the 21st century policing principles. So we have the justification for those attached in the budget. For introductions, my name is Eric Nordenson. I'm currently the Deputy Chief of Police. I've done a quick synopsis of the 6 pillars. Our goals are always to follow those pillars in our strategic plan. We're always looking to build trust and legitimacy with our community. We're always looking to better our policies and our oversight. We're doing the best we can to use technology and social media to enhance our platforms and communication with our community. We believe firmly in community policing and crime reduction. We will always strive to get the best training and education for our staff. And our number one priority with our PD is to make sure that our officers, dispatchers, parking staff are taken care of both physically and mentally. Quick overview of our police organization chart. I am the incoming police chief. My deputy chief police position will be vacant pretty soon, but we will look for a promotional opportunity. And also dispatch. Dispatch is currently fully staffed, which is amazing at this time. Our parking enforcement is supervised currently through the police department. We have 1 full-time parking person and 3 part-time parking people. Our budget for the police side is $2.6 million roughly, which is a 6% increase over last year, most of which can be attributed to salary adjustments. It's a little bit under the current CPI, which was a good target for us. When we look at the dispatch side, we are at a little under $1 million and a 8.73 increase on the budget from the prior year, and that is attributed to also significant salary increases, which have helped us fill the ranks in dispatch. On the parking side, our parking debt is up a little bit over the year before, and that's because our revenues are up, and we've basically placed the employees' salaries that we took out of that from prior years during COVID back into the budget. So it shows a significant increase, but it's actually attributed to the revenue that we've generated, and we can justify the expenses now for those employees. When we get into the major functions of the Montpelier Police Department, obviously we do law enforcement. We work hand in hand with the CJC here in town for restorative justice and do a lot of that on our own. A major complaint for us here is for additional motor vehicle enforcement. So we spend a lot of time on your streets and in your neighborhoods doing motor vehicle enforcement. We are also a dispatch center for Montpelier Fire and Ambulance and also the police department, along with 22 other communities for the Capital West Fire Mutual Aid. And of course, finally, we do all the parking enforcement and management for that service. A quick staffing overview for us. So we are authorized for 17 police officers, and we're currently staffed at 11 to respond for calls for service. So we're short just a little bit, but we are certainly making some progress in the hiring process. Dispatch is authorized for 8 full-time dispatchers, including the dispatch supervisor, and they are currently fully staffed. Parking is authorized for and currently has 1 full-time community service officer and 2 part-time community service officers. That 3rd part-time person is actually working for DPW doing winter van enforcement. We have 1 shared administrative assistant with the Montpelier Fire and Ambulance who does our ambulance billing and all support services for both Montpelier Fire and also for Montpelier Police. Some key features that we have in this current budget, we fully funded the Vermont Center for Responder Wellness for our staff. So at any time they think or we think that they need any help, they have a service readily available. It fully funds the addition of benchmark analytics, which tracks officer training, use of force, internal complaints and compliments, and employee evaluations. This platform is still in the development stages at MPD, and we hope to have it fully functional about midway through 2023. We've recently incorporated Power DMS as our policy provider, which includes a dashboard to the city webpage. Making our policies readily available to the public has been a priority. This system also has a policy training component for officers and dispatch staff and tracks policies pretty well. That will be fully operational by July of 2023 as well. But right now we have the publicly facing policies available. We have also added our Canine Atlas, which was a grant-funded position. For the first 3 years, it's not being supported by the budget other than the staff officer who has him as a handler. So we have a grant for that. So it includes that in the budget. For Communications Dispatch Center and Capital West, we have all new consoles, and this will be the second year of funding for that. Those are fully compatible with the Vermont State Police dispatch consoles, and also Berry City has mirrored in. So for continuity of operations, if ours were to go down at any time, we could simply hop over to the state or to Berry City, and our communications should continue seamlessly. Dispatch is fully staffed, and we are looking to see if we have the capacity to take on additional customers, as we have been a little bit requested through the state that the potential is there. So we're about ready to embark on a study to see if that is something that we can handle. Some capital expenses. We don't ask for a lot out of capital expenses, especially this year. We've asked for one fully equipped Ford Explorer. Training. In our budget, we maintain the current year-over-year training budget. We'll continue to explore grants and other opportunities to host trainings to offset the high cost of training and travel. Our community resource position has been well received. Once we get fully staffed, it will definitely benefit the community in a more visible way, and that position is currently fully funded. Our recruitment and retention has been a challenge. We thank Bill Kelly, Cameron before Kelly, and the City Council for improving officer pay and dispatcher pay. We have 3 new officers coming on board for February 6th Police Academy training. We're very excited for them to get started, and that will leave us with 3 vacancies. The way we're trending is that we anticipate we can have those filled if we can find the right people rather quickly. Items that were not funded. Unfortunately, the police social worker position has not been funded. We are working with Berry City PD and the Washington County Mental Health at this time to have that position either re-examined or have a screener assigned to that. And we're looking for grant funding at this time to see if we can find a way to support that position outside of city funding. A portion of our police funding for our cruiser was not included, so a hybrid option right now is not a viable option for us, but we can try and revisit that with negotiations on price. Long-term challenges and opportunities. We're going to continue to look for the right candidates to fill the vacant positions, looking to increase training budget in the future to provide more and potentially better training to our staff. Most of that requires travel out of the state, and that increases the cost significantly. We're going to expand the peer support training with the Vermont Responder Center so we can take care of each other in our own house and use the Vermont Responder Center when we have a need. Continue to work with Berry City PD and the Capital West Fire Mutual Aid System to work on a major infrastructure grant to better expand services and safety for firefighters, ambulance operators, and police in all our rural and big city communities. We are also looking at a work analysis for dispatch to understand the potential for growth and to expand if staffing can handle it. We are looking to implement a fleet management software system with DPW to better manage our fleet and actually understand better when equipment is outdated and when it should be replaced. One of the big priorities is crisis intervention training. We are scheduled to host the first crisis intervention training in Central Vermont in 2023. We're looking to rebuild the relationships with the Montpelier Roxbury Public Schools and revisit the school resource officer position. Those discussions should be coming shortly. Opportunity to expand parking revenue with the advent of Park Mobile. And some other concerns for us is our aging building. We're at about 22 years old. It's starting to show some wear in certain areas, and it's something that we are certainly planning for. As always, if there are any questions, again, my name's Eric Nordenson at the Police Department. My email is attached and my phone number is there. And I'm happy to answer any questions that you have along the way. Thank you.
Great, thanks, Eric.